Do you watch dog fights?
Dog fights. No,
not
no,
dog
I don't
fights.
watch
Okay.
No, I don't like dog fights.
Okay,
I
the
had
other.
dogs. I'm not good with like vitamins. I tried to be vegan and vegetarian at a point in my life, and he has too. But it's hard, like making sure you get your vitamins and stuff without meat. It's like hard on your body.
It's okay to enslave or kill someone if they have a low IQ or if they have some sort of cognitive impairment.
No.
Hard no, soft no?
Hard no. Yeah, hard no.
What about if you had like power over that individual? Would that make it better?
No.
Let's say like we were like sailing around and we found an island and it was full of like Neanderthals or maybe like Homo habilis or something like that. Would it be okay to enslave and kill them?
No. No.
So even though they're not the same species as us, that still would be a problem.
We're all species. We're all weird species. We're all humans. We're all animals. So, I mean, no, not at all. I don't think it's fair to kill anyone or enslave anyone.
And then, like, how bad? This is going to seem really silly, but like, how bad is enslaving and killing? Is it like a little bad, medium bad, like very bad?
It's very bad.
Very bad.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Okay.
I mean, you treat people how you want to be treated. So if you want to get enslaved and thrown into a place, then do it to yourself. Don't do it to anyone else.
Okay, so you feeling good so far? These might get a little harder.
Okay.
Do you eat cows, chickens, pigs, eggs, milk, wear leather, watch dog fights?
Yes.
Do you watch dog fights?
Dog fights. No,
not
no,
dog
I don't
fights.
watch
Okay.
dog- no, I don't
okay.
like dog fights.
Okay,
I
the
had
other.
dogs. So
okay.
no,
okay.
dog fights.
The other ones, but you don't.
But I do eat meat.
You eat meat.
Yeah.
Do you eat eggs and milk and
Yeah.
all that? Okay. Do you think in the process of farming those animals, based on your definition, are they either enslaved or killed in that process?
They're both. They're both, yeah. I mean, if you compare humans to animals, then yeah, you're killing the animals, just you're killing the humans, I guess. Yeah. If you put it that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of opens your eyes
Yeah.
a little bit.
You eat pigs then, I assume?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about what happens to pigs?
Yeah.
Can I show you a brief 1-minute video of what
I've
happens
seen
in the
it.
pig industry?
I've actually seen it I think I went to a field trip or something like that, and they had done cows and pigs and everything like it was like a slaughterhouse.
Tell me what you know. Can you tell me specifically?
They cut off their heads and chop it off.
Yeah, that's some of it. So I'll just run you a very brief history. When the pigs are babies, we'll actually cut off their tails and teeth while they're conscious with like no painkillers. And do you know why we would do that?
I don't know. Has to do with maybe like for us in a way, I guess. So like
I think you made a really good insight there, which is that it's
It's
for
for
us.
us, yeah.
Everything we do to them is
Yeah, it's
ultimately
for
for
us,
us. Yeah. So basically, whenever we put them into like cramped quarters, they'll get really distressed and they'll attack each other. So they'll bite
so
off
bite
each
each other.
other's.
So they take
yeah.
their teeth.
They'll also cut a slit in the pig's scrotum, and they'll actually rip their testicles out. And do you know why they would do that?
do people eat them?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe some people, but no, that's not why.
No. Okay. So they can't have kids? I don't know.
Yeah, that's part of it. So we're in a position of power over them. So they don't mate when they want to mate.
Okay.
They mate when we tell them they can
just
mate,
like
right?
All dogs and everything too, yeah.
And it also changes the taste. So we don't do this with any painkillers. They're fully conscious because we want that pig to taste better. Rip their testicles off. Yeah.
It tastes better?
Yeah. So it causes something called boar taint if you leave it in there. And then how do you think most pigs are killed?
Just chop their head off live. They're just staying on like a little thing and they like just drop the thing and it just kind of cuts their head off, I think.
The ultimate thing that does kill them is they get their throats slit. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But prior to that, they're actually put into gas chambers.
Like humans.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so it's actually like a high concentration CO2, and so it forms acidic compounds with all their wet tissues. So they basically go in their eyes, nose, throat, all sort of burn from the inside out, and then they suffocate.
Yeah.
And then if they're not dead, then we hang them up and yeah. So how do you think the pigs actually come into existence?
Just like we do.
A boy pig loves a girl pig very
make
much, and
babies, yeah.
that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
That seems like that would make
But
sense.
it's not anymore. It's
It's
just
it.
like breeding dogs is really I don't agree with it, but I have dogs, so I mean
We essentially manually stimulate a male pig so that he like ejaculates,
Yeah.
and then we take that and we put it into a female
into the
pig.
female, yeah.
Right, and we're like, this is a human doing each of these parts. And the human will even sit on top of the female pig, like put weight on her and rub her haunches, and they'll even inject, have you heard of oxytocin? Have you ever heard of
Yeah,
this?
I've heard of that word.
Yeah, it's like they call it like the love hormone.
Okay.
So they'll sit on top of the pig, rub their haunches, and sometimes they'll even inject them with oxytocin. And so almost all animal agriculture is built on the back of sexual exploitation of the animals like that. So like hearing all that, I know it's a lot. I know I just like
No, you're
dumped a
totally
bunch of
fine.
information on you. I guess what sort of emotions are you feeling? Like happiness, sadness, elation, joy, anger? You know, what do you feel in your body when you're hearing those things?
It just makes you think about like the questions you asked in the beginning, like how is that okay? How is that not okay? But then this is okay, kind of thing. Just makes you think, but then it also like puts that like that's how like life works, I guess, but it doesn't have to work in that way. Like eating what's it called, the food chain, like, but it doesn't have to be like in the way they do it, I guess. Like if a pig dies, then we can eat it maybe, but like don't kill it. I don't know. It makes me sad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I tried to be vegan and vegetarian at a point in my life, and he has too, but it's hard, like making sure you get your vitamins and stuff like that without meat. It's like hard on your body sometimes, but maybe one day.
Let's retouch on that. One more thing I like to ask is, you're standing there with the pig. You're about to push them into the gas chamber, close it, and hit the button. What sort of good justification do you think you could give to that pig for why you're putting them in that gas chamber?
No, none. I couldn't do that. I couldn't bring myself to do that. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't do that. No. Yeah. It's not fair.
Something I'm trying to highlight to people is everything I just said is basically what I call symptoms. So these are all like the symptoms of a disease. Like if you have cancer or something, you might have physical pain, you might start having hallucinations, But ultimately there's still that cancer there. There's this underlying root cause. What do you think I think that underlying root cause is in this scenario? Like what is causing us to do all those things?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't really know.
I think what it is that we essentially objectify them. We commodify them.
Yeah. Okay.
And we essentially say that they're something, not someone.
Yeah, because I took African American studies in high school, and it really like put on that, like the objectifying, like seeing them as like not a person at all, just like a thing.
Yes.
And it's sad. But
Exactly. That's the perfect comparison. That's what I say to people is all throughout history we've done this, right? Humans always say that's someone, there is something, right? And then what happens to those someones?
Yeah.
Right?
Gone, yeah.
Yeah, they get screwed.
Yep.
And so I guess earlier you had mentioned like maybe you tried to go vegan before or something like that, and you had maybe some issues. Let's say that you didn't have any, let's say that like I could give you a resource, totally solved all that for you. Is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing too is I like to think about is like, let's say that the diet was impossible for you, right? There still is leather. There still is, something like SeaWorld where we're seeing them as objects, dog fighting, we're seeing them as objects. Could you cut out those things even if it weren't for the health?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I still see zoos as not the correct place. Like the aquarium down in Atlantic. Yeah, I went there and it's like they're like, oh well, they're injured and this, but like at the same time they're injured for like way too long. Some of the animals, like the fish in there, like they're not injured still, or like certain animals in there, they could definitely get out, like the otters and stuff.
That's a great point, because we're commodifying them. Right? We're making money off them. We're seeing them as we're seeing them as an object. Exactly. Totally. So yeah, I guess unless this is too personal, that's totally fine. But like, was there like a specific thing that you struggled with when you were trying to do a vegan diet?
Yeah, like protein.
Protein?
Yeah, getting the protein in my body, because I'm not good with like vitamins really. Okay. I try, but like my friend was vegetarian and she was also having like a hard time, but she drank a lot of milk, and that helped her like get her like proteins in.
So I will tell you, most people I know probably take like a B12 supplement, and that's sort of it. They'll take a B12
and I'm low on B12. Okay. So that's also like,
so you got to take that supplement.
I already take that daily.
You got to take that supplement. Okay, there you go.
And iron. So I'm like, it's kind of like, is it going to be good for my body if I totally cut out stuff that like is my body's needing right now,
Yeah, and I think the thing is you can so if your B12 is low and you're taking a supplement, I would just kind of take more of that supplement.
Yeah, I get shots and everything.
Okay, you actually get B12. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're like on top of your health like that.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing I think about. And so I've been vegan for 4 years.
That's awesome.
He's been vegan 6 years, I think. You've been vegan how long? 13 years. She's hiked Mount Kilimanjaro.
Wow, that's awesome.
I lift weights 4 times a week.
Yeah.
It's I know lots of vegans who are muscular, who do all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, if you put your mind to it, you can. I've been slowly trying new things that I would never have tried in the past, but it's hard having that taste for certain things that people don't have taste for.
And would you say that sort of taste pleasure, sensory pleasure would justify what we do to them?
No, not at all. Because not that much food tastes great. Not that much meat. I don't really I don't eat anything in the ocean. So, I mean, I don't like any fish.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just picky. I could cut out everything if I like really set my mind to it and wanted to. Yeah. For sure.
And I think there's definitely resources online that can help you. Like if you just, I mean, there's a couple of channels I can give you where like any food you want, it's veganized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Like making wings into like cauliflower and mixing them in buffalo and stuff
exactly.
like I've seen it. Like my friends, they do that stuff, but it's just hard. I think like you don't really also realize like how many things have things from animals.
it
like,
is true. It's like,
like-
we've objectified them so much that we
like
put them in a lot of
marshmallows?
things. Yeah. They're vegan marshmallows.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, so no, I think that's true. And maybe like once the interview's done, I can maybe give you some resources and talk more about the nitty gritty. But maybe I'll just kind of ask you a little more like philosophical questions about it. For instance, if it were someone you loved and they were, maybe they were going to die if you didn't adopt a vegan diet, do you think you could adopt a vegan diet in that case? Like, could you do it if you
You
really
could,
wanted?
if I put my mind to it, I could do it. I could do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe I'll leave you with this, and this can be a little hard to hear.
Yeah.
But like, as long as you continue to pay for those products, those animals will be exploited, sexually exploited, killed, and mutilated on your behalf. And so I would ask you to just kind of think about what is the gravity of that situation.
What I can do to help. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they're still gonna do it. People are still gonna do it. Even with me, like it's just like voting for someone or whatever. Like there's still gonna be other people that vote for that person, or there's still gonna be other people that are gonna eat meat, and they're still gonna do it to the animals until it's like become a really like, I guess, big thing. I don't know. It has to really get passed along through everyone. Like this kind of makes you rethink. Like talking about the beginning about how like humans were like that, and then now it's like animals, and how is that okay?
Yeah.
I think.
That's something I think about too is like, so a lot of people don't know this, but the average person will be responsible for the death of like 100, maybe 200 animals a year. And so while one person can't change absolutely everything in the world, you can change it for those animals' lives. Those 100 animals, that one animal who you're eating today, that was everything to them, Like if you think like, like if I asked you, what did you eat 11 days ago for dinner? Do you remember?
No, I have no idea.
So something that just kind of was like not even important enough to remember to you was an animal's whole life, And so that's kind of the way I think about it. But also, like, do you think that society should evolve and that we should evolve as individuals in our ethics?
What do you mean by that?
Like, should we be challenging the notions of like what we do every day? Like, are we doing the right thing?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, for sure. You should think about each thing you do in the day and like how it affects other people.
I truly think that one person makes a big difference, not just to the animals directly, but because you're signaling to everyone around you. And especially in the beginning when maybe not many people are vegan quite yet, you having the bravery to be that person who steps out and says, you know what? This is not okay. Because if you look back in history, during the 1800s, tons of people, maybe they didn't agree with slavery, they didn't say anything about it, they were just like, whatever, I'm going to be passive. And that caused slavery to be an institution for that much longer. So I think like if I were back in that time, what kind of person would I want to be? Would I want to be the person that just stands there on the sideline saying nothing? Or would I want to be the kind of person who stood up and say, you know what, this is not right. I know it might not be popular for it, but I cannot abide this.
Yeah. Standing up, for sure. I can do that.
Okay. Awesome.
I should. I like thinking about it, Meat isn't even really that good, to be honest. I don't eat that much like meat or eggs or dairy really that often, but you could make a little switch. Like I use oat milk.
Nice.
I only drink oat milk and soy milk sometimes.
I have a really good soy milk brand I can give you. I think it's the best.
Really? There's a good brand?
There's a brand that's better than all the other ones.
Really? It's
Yes.
not like soy something?
It's got plenty of protein. It's even got some B12 in it and stuff, so it helps with all that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I love soy milk.
Well, so if I had a resource, would you be interested in checking out videos?
Yeah,
awesome.
Checking out, It's always good to open your mind to new things.
Okay, awesome. Well, cool, I'll get something for you
Okay.
then. And if you want to help me make this my full-time career, check out the Patreon in the description. And shout out to Ryan O'Neill, Tom Eisenbeiss, NetBase News, Monstar, David Yastrzemski, and Maxwell Edison.